Euphoria for me is the textbook definition of all flash and no substance at all. It's aggressively stylized with its interesting shot composition, lighting, and camera movement around characters that, frankly, I can give a rat's ass about. Take the protagonist, Rue. And by protagonist, I mean she's on all the posters. Of all the characters in this show, it might actually be about Rue the least. The first thing this teenager says after coming home from rehab after a drug overdose that shook her entire family and some of her friends is that she has no intentions on staying sober at all. Now, I have been around plenty of people in recovery, and this is an attitude that I have noticed. The disease that is addiction is lifelong, and there's a lot of people that just straight up don't want to put up the fight. The problem with that is that it doesn't make for interesting television. You've given us a character that we can't root for, we can't care about, because they don't even really care about themselves. Rue is somehow friends with Jules, who is introduced to us by soliciting sex from Mark Sloan via a dating app, attending a party where she slices her own arm because Nate, Captain White Privilege, gets all in her face about something or other, and takes Rue back to her house for them to drop Molly and go to sleep. And also, she's trans. That's something that's kept pretty vague until a couple episodes in. The characters are rounded out by Lexi, who isn't all that bad until she's the worst, Maddie, who everyone loves except her own boyfriend, Cassie, who dates the former high school football star before she has to have an abortion and then gets sad about it, Kat, who's the prototypical unsure of herself, bigger person in a high school of 24-year-old supermodels that does camming for Bitcoin from a guy with a micro penis, Elliot, who plays guitar and attends high school with the Apple logo tattooed on his face, and the biggest psychotic white boy since Dexter Morgan, Nate Jacobs. Nate's got a lot going on. Not only is he the quarterback of the football team, a purveyor of his own father's porn collection with gay men and trans women, Maddie's abusive boyfriend, Jules' gay dating app pen pal, some poor guy named Tyler's literal worst fucking nightmare, Cassie's secret abusive boyfriend, and a high school student who's basically a tablespoon of gamma radiation away from becoming the Incredible Hulk when he gets angry. Fourth episode, though, Shook Ones Part 2, is my favorite episode of the entire series. You have this carnival serving as the bottle setting for all of these storylines and all these characters to intersect. Slowly building the tension of Maddie and Nate's deteriorating relationship, of Cassie and McKay's deteriorating relationship, of Kat and Ethan's budding but then soon deteriorating relationship, Rue and Jules figuring out how to operate after finding out that Mark Sloan's actually Nate's dad, and the biggest mystery of all, who is going to win Best Chili. One by one, the situations complicate, with Rue losing Gia, Kat thinking that Ethan's flirting with someone else, Maddie telling Cassie about all of the different dicks in Nate's phone, Nate telling off Maddie that she's dressed like a hooker because obviously he's never seen Selena, and most of all, people are actually enjoying the Andersons' chili. They say it's good. They say it has good mouthfeel. But the Jenga tower eventually collapses with Kat fucking a carny, Cassie fucking a carousel pony, Maddie Kevin Maloning the chili, Maddie getting fucking choked out by Nate, Rue finding Gia, and Jules getting fucked by finding out her dating app pen pal is actually Nate all along. Every character has something to do, the camera movement is smooth throughout, and everything was really, really engaging, and from this point, I actually began to understand the hype. That quickly dissipates, however, with a drawn-out investigation episode. Your run-of-the-mill drug dealery stuff with Mouse forcing Rue to take fentanyl, Kat getting creeped out by one of her camp people, Jules going to where I can only guess is Chicago to, I guess, sleep with some other people. The problem is, much like with Rue, I feel no strong connection to any of these characters. I don't know what anyone really wants, and none of these characters are interesting enough to just call the show a character study. The only character that I feel is truly three-dimensional is Fezco. I'm not sure why, but his arc is treated with such care, slowly revealing a tragic backstory along with his hopes and dreams through conversations with other characters, I mean, mostly Lexi. Mother and sister notwithstanding, Fez is like the only person I feel like genuinely cares about Rue, and I mean, now that I think about it, Fez really cares about pretty much everyone, except for Nate. Paths cross with Lori, and Faye's boyfriend gets all caught up, so Fez takes Faye in. Cal confronts them, and yes, Ashtray does most of the damage, but all Fez really wants is for his friends to be left alone. Unlike everyone else in this fucking show, Fez doesn't subscribe to any of the drama. He just wants to make enough money dealing to pay off his house and maybe live on a farm somewhere. Season 2 takes a huge dip in quality for me. Kat does not exist. McKay exists for like 12 minutes. There's a really sorry attempt to make Cal a three-dimensional character, but I guess no one told the showrunners that sexual orientation gives a character dimension, gives a character depth. There's a point later in season 2 where Nate shows up to Cal's office or something, and Cal and his flamboyantly gay friends are drinking, listening to Kylie Minogue. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Jules gets upset that it seems like Rue likes Elliot. Like, you didn't just travel to, again, Chicago to fuck some other people. Like, and you literally told Rue that you were in love with some other person as well as being in love with Rue. And then Rue never really judges Jules on it or even really seems to care. I mean, Elliot alludes to Rue being maybe asexual or something, which I kind of buy. Lori, who's like this huge foil in season 2, is absolutely terrifying. She's like this monotone voice that never changes. She gives Rue a carry-on worth of drugs to sell, which Rue immediately does said drugs. Rue returns to the apartment in bad withdrawals. Lori calls her by her government name, lies to Rue about not having any morphine pills, mainlines Rue full of morphine, and literally cleans her, getting her ready for sex slavery until Rue escapes. And then Rue says in a voiceover later, like, yeah, I stayed sober the rest of the school year. Like, how did you fucking make it to the end of the school year? You owe a drug kingpin $10,000 worth of drugs. The one part in season 2 I actually enjoyed is Rue asking Cassie, how long have you been fucking Nate Jacobs? That was probably the last time I had any hopes that anything interesting would happen in this fucking show. Do we really want to talk about Lexi's play? Okay, let's talk about Lexi's play. Okay, Lexi, first of all, is a fucking dickhead for putting on a play that basically airs out all of her friends and family's personal business. But also, what was the goddamn budget? Why does a high school have access to wires for actors to fly in or a fucking rotating platform? Cassie, I feel like, was absolutely right to interrupt this fucking shit show. Lexi made it all about herself. The confrontation everyone was waiting for, Maddie versus Cassie, got less screen time than Elliot singing an annoying ass song. Like, everything suffered in season 2. Like, even those interesting shots, like from season 1, still made sense in the grand scheme of the story. In season 2, they all just seemed kind of forced. Like, what is Cassie doing standing in this fucking big-ass room full of flowers? Like, what's the context there? I mean, this happened in both seasons, but I feel like season 2 had way more shots of, like, Labyrinth playing in the background while characters are just kind of standing there looking. Look, the show is renewed and is set for season 3 to premiere in 2024, but, like, Zendaya's already 25. Sydney Sweeney's 24. Fucking Maddie is 31. Like, unless they do some, like, several years later type shit, I really don't know or understand how this is sustainable or how this can continue. Look, if nothing else, the acting is superb, the soundtrack is excellent, but a lot of the interesting storytelling devices like Detective Rue, all of Rue's slideshows, and fuck, even Lexi's play, get bogged down by characters I don't care about, and a story that not even an 11-year-old getting shot in the head by the police can make me care about. What did you think of Euphoria? Did you guys really like it? Is there something I got wrong? Leave a comment down below and we can talk about it. If there's something else you want me to review, also let me know. Like, subscribe, whatever, blah, blah, blah.